All right. God, thank you for today and just for the chance to meet together and dream big about this year. God, I pray that as we learn more about the elite program this year, that you would help us to understand the details, help us to get all of our questions answered, and also fill us with just this new belief and confidence that we truly can scale this business this year, Lord. You know that we've just been through a lot the last couple of years, just really trying to get our bearings here. And it just feels so good to be at a point where I think we're all ready just to go and move forward. And so I pray that you would just give us that confidence, help us to spur one another on and encourage one another, help us to get over any limiting beliefs or any negative thoughts that creep in and just replace them with just belief that we really are here to serve and make a bigger impact. Help us to again just retain this information today. And I also just pray that you be with everyone here on the call too, and the ones listening to the recording that just need extra encouragement today, Lord. You might know exactly, or you do know exactly what they're going through. And so I just pray that you'd meet them where they're at with whatever they need today. In your name we pray. Amen. Okay, so I am super excited for this call. So really the focus or the goal of this call is to like walk through hold on. So the goal is really to walk through like all of the nitty-gritty details of the elite um, program for this year. Every year they make like little tweaks to the program, and there really are a lot of details. So it's, I think even if like even for people that have already hit elite last year or whatever, like it's just even for me, I'm like really excited to go through all of it together today and just really make sure that we know exactly what we're gonna go for. And I'll be honest, this year is like everyone starts at ground zero because last year we still had people from Body that came over. Like a lot of those people were still counting for us for elite points. Whereas this year, the way that it works, and you'll see when we walk through this, is that like we're basically like everyone's a brand new ambassador. Like we all have to, we like have zero team members according to elite. So I think it's yes, slightly terrifying, but also like really good. And it's the push that I know so many of us feel like we've needed and want to pursue to really get our businesses to the next level. So I just think this is going to be so good. Along the way, please ask any question that you need clarification on. No question is dumb because there, like I said, there are just a lot of details, but once you wrap your head around it, it's really empowering because then you're like, okay, now I know exactly kind of what to focus on. And really, you guys, that's all this program is knowing the areas to focus on so you can check off your points and make sure that you are like on track throughout the year. I think that the what can be discouraging is if you don't pay attention early on in the year and then you get to like later in the year and you're like, shoot, if I had just taken the time to wrap my head around this earlier, I probably could have made it happen. And I know several of you were in that boat. But the cool thing too with the elite program at Shaklee is it's absolutely possible for anyone to achieve it who wants to achieve it. Um, if you came from Beachbody, that elite program got really, really elite, where like a lot of people it was really hard to achieve it there towards the end, especially. It was just like a very select few did that, but here, like from what I've seen, it's like anyone that really focuses on these things can do it, and you don't have to have a massive team. You just, like I said, have to have the right eggs in each basket. And I also just wanted to quick say thanks for everyone for hyping up the chat this morning. I feel like in 2026, I'm like Tough Love Amber, version 2.0, and I'm really excited because I know that like it's kind of like parenting, right? I feel like the last couple of years, it's kind of been like oh, like patting people on the back for showing up and like you're doing good and like you get your participation award. But the reality is, like, as a parent, we all know those moments when our kids need that push and when they need that discipline and when they need, like, if they're going to excel, that they have to put in harder work. And so I think as a team, especially for those of us that have been here for a while, like, there's no reason why we can't scale this business to like I said in the chat, like six figures or wherever you want to grow it, but it has to be a focus on the right things. So thanks for just like hanging with me. And like, I know that not everyone's going to get it, but like, I really just feel like, in terms of my leadership, as I've been praying for like, how can I really help our team, that I need to level up. And like I said, I feel like I'd be doing a disservice if I was just like continuing to let us all kind of maintain where we've been at, knowing that so many of you want to grow and we all want that. So I'm super excited. Thanks for helping that chat to be hyped up. Yeah, Alicia, I totally agree. Like, I think she said in here, for those listening to the recording, she's like, I needed a year to decompress and get over the burnout of body of pushing for so many years. So she's ready to take it to the next level. I like that is so well said. I think that's how so many of us feel. We're like, okay, like we can still do this. We have what it takes, but we needed that time to heal. And honestly, what I've seen is like the people that have taken that time to heal, like they're now ready versus the ones that went straight into burnout mode and kind of like, whatever. So they kind of have fizzled. So I'm really excited. All right, I'm going to share my screen. And I wanted to start by sharing and like showing you guys exactly where you can find this information for yourself so that when you go like after this, like please go. I just know that, like, for me, when I decided to finally go for Elite at Beachbody, and same thing here, like, I'm someone that I needed to go over the details again and again and again. And so, after this call, I don't want this just to be like a one and done thing. Like, I want you to be resourceful and go into the back office and really, like, make sure you understand it. Because once you do, I'm telling you, you guys can do this. Like, you absolutely can do this. Don't be intimidated by this program. Okay, so I'm going to share this. Can you guys see that okay? Okay, so if you go to shakleetools.com, this is what will come up. And so all you're going to do is scroll down here. Oh, why is my computer frozen? Bear with me. What the heck? I literally was just doing this. Is it like, hold on, let me stop my share and see if I can fix this. Okay, that's weird. I wonder if I shared it wrong because when I unshare it, I can like scroll down. Life is always humbling, isn't it? I'm like, I've done this a million times. Okay, share. Okay, there we go. All right, I don't know what that was all about. Is it? Now it's frozen again. Okay, I might just have to like click on the video I want to show you and then we'll do it. But anyway, if you go down here, if you scroll all the way down, you'll see that it has like a place to do recognition. This is so bizarre. Has anyone had this before where like it won't let you, like the second I share it, it doesn't let me move my screen. That's so weird. Okay, well, if you scroll down and then you'll get to incentives, compensation, business resources. If you click on incentives and compensation, that's where all of this stuff lives. So there's like an incentive booklet. There's also a magazine that makes everything look pretty. There's stuff about like the incentives for the 70th anniversary celebration. And then what I wanted to watch with you guys today, and you probably already watched it. I have already watched it too. So if you've watched it, don't tune out. Like just listen to it again. Because like I said, I guarantee you'll catch something that you didn't before. But I wanted us to watch this video. I'm gonna push play, make sure it lets me do that.
Hey, there's
And I'll maybe fast forward
excited
a
to be
few
able to
things,
talk to you
but
about
I wanted
2026
to
incentives. That's
share,
the
like
purpose
mix
of
this
this training.
together.
Give you the information that you need to understand what our incentives will be like going into 2026. And I can't believe I'm saying 2026, right?
Can
It
you
feels like
see that?
2025 just started,
Hear
it
it?
flew by. And what an amazing year it was. And we're looking forward to even a bigger year, a stronger year in 2026. And that's going to require all of us to level up just a little bit. And so as we talk about these 2026 incentives, here's the things that I'm going to ask you to do. It's like, let's use this time to be able to set some great goals. Things that we can do to reach more people, to help more people, to expand our reach and our business, and be able to bless more people and help them live age-free with Shaklee. That's really what these incentives are all about, creating the frameworks and the guideposts, if you will, to help you grow and succeed and build a sustainable growing business for yourself. And so as we jump into this, we're going to talk through those incentives, things like Star Club, things like VIP Elite, and how to get to the VIP Elite. We have things we have to do with these of having of see. All right. Now, That's but that's on purpose to help you lock in.
Sorry, I just want to get to
Care
the.
about all
Okay.
the structure within the VIP Elite program that if people just follow the program, if they say, look, I'm not sure about all the details or what to do, but I know that if I earn points in these categories and I qualify for these tiers, then I'm putting myself in a position where I'm doing the things to help give my business, kind of the inside track on sustainable growth. All right. Now, VIP Elite qualification, okay, is really, it unlocks everything. It unlocks special recognition and experience at all of our events. That includes on-stage recognition at conference. It really is a qualification for all of our incentive trips are through the VIP Elite program. Okay, so really it's a big deal, VIP Elite. Here's how it works. There are, again, in 2026, the same as 2025. There are four qualification levels: bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. These levels have progressively higher rewards as you go through them. So obviously, bronze is great. Silver earns more perks and incentives than bronze. Gold more than silver. Platinum more than gold. Okay, you qualify with two things: achieving and maintaining a specified rank, and then accumulating a certain amount of VIP Elite points during the year. Those points are awarded as you do business activities and you engage in those and have successful outcomes. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is kind of walk through what these qualifications are, just showing you the rank and the points. And then after I go through this segment, I'm going to do it for bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. Then after I do that, we're going to go into the points. Okay. We're going to go into the points and how those work. So let's talk about this. For bronze elite, the rank requirement is first time director, okay, or coordinator. Okay, that is an increase from this year. This year it is senior director, and we're bumping it up to coordinator. We're still having a window this year in 2026 for first time directors, but I want to call something out in the green box here. Okay, in 2026, like I just said, we're bumping the rate for repeat qualifiers from senior director to coordinator. All of you, those of you that have been around Shaklee for a while, know that this incentive trip historically has been a coordinator trip, a coordinator above trip. Um, and for various reasons, we had kind of gone through it, opened it up to directors and senior directors the last couple of years. We're now returning that in the process, I guess, for transitioning that back to a coordinator trip. All right. So in 2026, first time qualifiers can still, first time directors were still able to qualify for the trip as VIP Elite Bronze. But again, just to make sure we're on the same page here, we are going to discontinue this option for VIP for first time directors in 2027. So this will be the last year that we are allowing first time directors to qualify as bronze elite. All right, going forward, 2020 year 2027 and beyond, it'll be again back to a coordinator trip. We just really felt it was important to give a year of transition and notice for people so they would know what was going on. They could make some adjustments in how they're talking about it with people. So again, for 2026, first time directors still open. Last year that will happen. Other than that, you need to be a coordinator. Okay, which is a bump up from senior director. The good news is the point threshold is the same. Okay, so there's no changes in the points required in order to qualify as bronze. Okay, now bronze, obviously, just a quick review of some of the fun things. And this slide doesn't really do it justice, but it gives you an idea, right? They get an invite to the VIP Elite incentive trip. Okay, they have a $350 flight credit for that trip. They get some on-stage recognition at conference. They get the swag and the gifts at the VIP Elite event. There's the perks at conference with this. I guess I think one of the biggest ones is that VIP registration lounge, excuse me, where you can skip all the lines and go in and have something to drink and kind of get your registration handled at a conference, which is really nice. Then there's all the recognition at conference with the custom lanyard and the ribbon that you have. There's the conference gifts that you get. There's a lot of perks again that we really try to celebrate our VIP elites, and that starts with our bronze. Okay, so that's bronze. Silver.
Does anyone have questions about bronze before we move on? So just kind of to recap, 250 points, and we'll get into the how to earn the points, but 250 points, first time director or coordinator, which is a change, but you guys are totally capable of hitting coordinator. And what that's going to do for your paychecks is going to be so, so good. So that is like the main difference. And then it's like the first tier. So what I do really appreciate about Shackley is if you like you get to choose your recognition. So when you have like at body, it was sort of like you were ranked against each other. But here it's like you get to decide, do you want to be recognized as a bronze? Do you want to be recognized as silver, gold, or platinum? And it's not like we're pitting against each other. That was one of the reasons I chose Shackley was because I didn't want that like competitive. Like, I just don't think there's any reason to compete against each other in that way. So, like, what I love about this is it's like kind of based, and the way I look at it is like based on your capacity and based on how much time you want to put into this. It's not based on, because I think we all could hit platinum, but like, do you want to put that time in? Do you want to put that much energy into it? So, it's kind of like, what is your life capacity at? How much time can you put into the business? Which one do you want to achieve? And then you get celebrated on that. But it's not like then they're like, oh, platinum number one, platinum number two. It's like everyone, if you qualify for these, you know, check marks, like all this stuff, then you all get recognized together, which I just think creates such a more collaborative environment than, like I said, when you're like ranked against each other. So, all right, any other questions? Let me see the chat. Yeah, I think you're right, Katie. I always have to look at that sheet. Yeah, coordinator is two directors. Um, yeah, so right, it has to be first time director. So like if you can't hit director before. So like it has to be your first time ever hitting director. Great questions. Okay, we'll keep going.
Silver, the rank required for silver is coordinator. Okay. So in 2026, again, we're bumping up the rank from silver to for silver from senior director to coordinator. Again, it's the same point threshold, but we're bumping it up, the rank up. And again, this is after a lot of analysis of the data and kind of where we're at, and we're at a point where we're really ready to make this transition forward and make this back to a coordinator trip. You have a year, to think of to measure it. It's a year that you've got to kind of make plans for it and everything. And I want to acknowledge, just take just a second and acknowledge that I know that those two moves with those ranks are going to be probably the biggest things for those of you that have come from the 2025 programs or previous years, and you're looking at 2026 right now. Those might be the biggest, catch your breath moments just a little bit. And that's we understand that, we anticipate that, and I want you to know that it's not done. It's done, and I guess it's done after a lot of analysis and thought, really with the objective of helping us get to where we need to be in 2026, and that leveling up. Hey there, Shackley family.
Sorry.
Mission, we really try to pull out all the stops for them. Mission, it's a little bit easier. They get a conference again. Everything's a little bit more elevated in your earnings, but also in yourself and being able to set those kind of goals for each other and help each other get there. So I just want to pause just a second, not try to like brush that under the rug, recognizing, acknowledging that for people that are coming into this, that will probably be the biggest hurdle that you're going to have to face, for this year, but you'll do it and it'll be great. And you've got a year to make it happen. And I'm confident that you'll be able to do that and you'll love where you get, where you're at when you get there. Okay, so let's go back to, we got to talk now about the silver perks. So silver perks. All right. So obviously, silver elites get an invite for two people to our VIP Elite incentive trip, which means a $700 flight credit for the VIP Elite trip. Plus, there's the onstage recognition they get at conference. Again, everything's a little bit more elevated than the bronze. Okay, the swags and the gifts are a little more elevated. The incentive trip, the VIP Elite registration, VIP Elite experience at conference, from the access you have, the ribbon, the lanyards different. You get, and the bronze gifts that we give out at conference, plus another silver tier gift at conference. Silver is definitely a great goal and to set for each other. Okay, now let's go and look at gold here. Our gold, again, in 2026, we're bumping up the rank for gold from coordinator to executive coordinator. And one of the things we've really noticed over the last couple of years is that gold really are, the majority of them are at that executive coordinator tier. So we're just trying to create and establish a floor, a rank floor for gold. Okay, it's the same point threshold, but now we're at executive coordinator. All right, the prizes that come with that, again, invite for two to the VIP Elite trip. They get and now an $800 flight credit. So last year it was 700. We bumped it up for gold by $100 to $800 flight credit. They also enjoy transportation perks to and from the home airport, which is a big deal, right? Makes it just a little bit easier getting to and from these events by having transportation around for, arranged for you. There's elevated gifts that they get at these events, right? Enhanced onstage recognition, a custom lanyard and ribbon. There's the additional conference gifts. They'll get the bronze gift and the silver gift, and then they get their own gold level gift. This year it was those awesome Meta Ray-Bans, which I was really jealous of. I'd like to get some of those. So great gifts and incentives for Gold Elite. Again, trying to make a great experience for them. Now we talked about our platinums, really kind of the top of the cream of the crop, if you will, the top line within the VIP Elite Incentive Program. In 2026, again, keeping with kind of what we're leveling up here, we're bumping up the rank for platinum from executive coordinator to key coordinator. Again, same point threshold, and similar here. Most people that were at that platinum elite level we're at that key coordinator or around that key coordinator rank. So it's an appropriate thing for us to establish there. But same point threshold. And again, the perks that come along with VIP Elite Platinum, then again, same invite for two. We're actually bumping up their flight credit from $700 last in 2025 to $1,000. Okay, for the VIP Elite trip this year. Transportation to and home from the airport again. They get the premier swag and gifts at all of the events, access in the lounge and concierge, on-stage recognition. We really try to pull out all the stops for them there, the custom lanyard ribbon, and then they get the full suite of gifts available. They get the bronze, silver, gold gifts, and they get their own platinum gifts this year. And they even get some thank you flowers when they get home from conference as well. Okay. And so that's how, so that real quick, there we go. That's the VIP Elite overall, right? So we went through why we have the VIP Elite program, what its objectives are for. And then we just walked through, okay, so what are the qualification requirements? We looked at bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. We looked at the ranks required for each one of those. And then we talked about the points required for each one of those. So you now know that overview. And then we talked about the awesome perks and incentive and the fun things they get. Okay. Now we're going to dive into how we get those points. Okay. We're going to talk about how do we get those points? And again, for 2025 to 2026, there's been some adjustments, but it's going to be very familiar to a lot of you that have kind of you've taken the time to look at the program and kind of learn the program. If you're looking at it for the first time, it might feel a little bit overwhelming. Hang in there. Okay. It isn't when you start to break it down and get familiar with it. Really, these points are just designed to reward the business outcomes that you're working for each month to be able to grow and develop the kind of business you want to have here at Shaklee. Okay. So let's jump in and look at.
Are there any questions before he gets into the points? Do you guys have any questions about the different levels? I think too, it's just kind of like you have to think through like what motivates you the most, and we're all different in terms of like what motivates you. So like for me, the platinum, all that, like the prizes are really cool, but like what motivates me to want to go for that is the growth I'm going to see in my income. So like, and I love that our elite program, and he'll talk about this, everything is like very in line with if you do these activities, your income will grow. Whereas again, at Beachbody, that wasn't always a thing. It wasn't always elite equaled more income. Um, we had people at Beachbody that were in the top 25 for elite and they were not making the most money in the company. Like it wasn't great. And so here though, it's nice because you can trust that like, okay, if I focus on these things and keep it kind of fun and keep it gamified and go for this trip, I'm also going to like grow my income. But just kind of think through, where do you want to be? And what I always think is a good idea is like shoot higher than you think you can go, because then usually you'll land maybe somewhere, even if you land a little bit below. But if you like say, I just want to hit bronze, you might not like, at least in my mind, I always feel like it's better to shoot for the moon and like land somewhere close. But like, just again, think through what you're motivated by. I know the big jump from bronze to silver is that you can do the guest too. Like you get to have a guest. You can pay for your guest oh shoot, my frozen. Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. I thought I was frozen. You can pay for your guest like at bronze, but it's like it gets better and better. But just think through again, we're all wired so different in terms of what motivates us. Okay, we'll get into the points and please like keep the questions coming to make sure we understand all this.
Those point totals. Okay, so we're going to start at the top here. Okay, now you remember when I talked about the quarterly incentive, I talked about points from sponsoring and retention categories. This is our sponsoring category. And in 2026, there's really only one way to earn points in the sponsoring category, and that's through earning Star Club bonuses. In 2025, there was some points for sponsoring ambassadors. We've actually moved that down into the retention category because we made an adjustment to it, and I'll show you in just a second. So for 2026, how you earn sponsoring points is by earning Star Club bonuses. Okay. When you earn a Star Club bonus in a month, you earn 10 points. Okay. 10 points per bonus. Okay. Throughout the year. And now we have these maxes. Why do we have maxes? That seems really weird. Well, the reason why we have maxes on these points is to kind of force an ambassador to be able to build in a balanced fashion. We want them to be able to build in a balanced fashion because we know that is what a key thing in resulting in growth that's sustainable. Okay. And so this has 120 annual max. If you're going for bronze or silver or gold and platinum, it doubles. It unlocks double the maximum possible from this.
Does that make sense? Because I feel like that is a little bit, it gets a little bit confusing there where it's like max. So basically, what they're saying is out of your 250 points, they don't want all of your points to come from Star Clubs. Like they want you to have a balance of every kind of point so that you have a well-rounded business. So you can still earn more than that and get paid on more than that. It's just for the elite program to qualify that is like they just have a cap on certain things to make sure that you're kind of hitting all the benchmarks to grow a well-rounded business.
Category. But again,
Ugh, sorry.
hey there, Shaklee family. Points is by earning Star Club bonuses. Okay. When you earn a Star Club bonus in a month, you earn 10 points. Okay. 10 points per bonus. Okay. Throughout the year. And now we have these maxes. Why do we have maxes? That seems really weird. Well, the reason why we have maxes on these points is to kind of force an ambassador to be able to build in a balanced fashion. We want them to be able to build in a balanced fashion because we know that is what a key thing in resulting in growth that's sustainable. Okay. And so this has 120 annual max. If you're going for bronze or silver or gold and platinum, it doubles. It unlocks double the maximum possible from this category. But again, the takeaway here is that we are, that the Star Club bonus is the same points as last year to this year, 10 points per bonus, okay, that you get. And then the connection to that quarterly that I just talked about was, again, how we get the VIP Elite points for that quarterly. There's a call out there where it's 60 points this year, and at least 20 of those has to come from the sponsoring category, which means that each quarter, in order to qualify for quarterly, you have to have at least 2 Star Club bonuses in order to qualify for the quarterly incentive in 2026. Okay, so that's sponsoring points. Again, we earn those through Star Club bonuses, 10 points per bonus. Now let's look at our retention category. Okay, now our retention points, they have a new addition. All right, and that is the first one right there, where we have newly sponsored ambassadors who get their first sale. So when you sponsor a new ambassador in 2026, including an ambassador upgrade, and they make their first sale to anybody, to a customer, to another ambassador, a member, retail customer, it doesn't matter. When they make that first sale, then you get 6 points. Okay, so we've actually bumped up the points a little bit from just sponsoring an ambassador in 2025, and we've now said, look, it's not about just sponsoring the ambassador. It's about helping that ambassador start to do a little something, right? That's what you want. That's the outcome that we're really looking for here, and helping them just get going, making that first sale. Okay, is how you earn points. 6 points per ambassador. Okay, that happens in 2026. Now, these next two are going to be very familiar. They're just continuations of what we had in 2025 into 2026. And that's that. The next threshold is then having that new ambassador reach a threshold of $500 in total sales, not $500 in sales in a month, not $500 in sales in a week. It's total sales of $500. Okay. When they reach that threshold, if they do it within their first 90 days, you can earn 20 points. Now we bumped that up by 25%, right? We bumped that up significantly to 20 points. This should show you and kind of be an indicator of really what the focus is, that we're really trying to help drive people's attention towards Again, so we're scaling this year through ambassadors, through helping new ambassadors join our family. But then it's not just about having them join. We want them to again make that first sale, unlocking 6 points, and then get to that $500 in sales. That generates the 20 points. Why $500? Well, our data shows that once people are hitting that threshold, the retention of those ambassadors and the path that puts them on for longer term success increases exponentially. And if they can do that within their first 30, 60, 90 days, it's even more important that they do that. And so it really tees them up and tees up your business for the kind of success you're looking for by setting that as a goal for them. Okay. And so we're serious about that. Now, if they don't do it within the 90 days, as long as they do it before 5 months or so, 150 days, you still get 10 points for that as well, as you can see from the screen there. And then the other way to earn points in the retention point category is just, again, same 2025 into 2026, our month to order. So you earn a point for every time someone makes a purchase after their first month, right? So the first month they make purchases, that's going to a Star Club bonus, that's going towards all those things, that's great. Retention really comes in when they start purchasing again their second month and beyond. And every month that they make a purchase on their second month and beyond, you can earn points. Now, the good news is it also helps to reinforce the importance of loyalty, of getting things on a subscription order. If that person's order is delivered to them through a subscription, through a loyalty order, okay, that the points actually double from 1 to 2. So you get 2 points for every one of those orders that are delivered to them on loyalty, not just them checking the box, but actually then it gets delivered to them on loyalty in that next month. You can double those points there. Okay. All right. So
Questions on retention points and how that works?
I have a quick question. So, is that cumulative months?
Yeah, so like if they do it over and over, that yeah, then you can every two plus order to place a month. Every month two plus, sorry, am I reading that right? Yeah, so like if it's a new customer, it has to be like this year, but then that can add up over months if they're on loyalty. So that's a good reason for them to like for us to educate on loyalty for sure. I mean, it's not as many points as let's say ambassador sponsoring, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of like if we can just educate on that, that definitely pays off over the course of the year.
So, like, just for example, let's say that I have a new client in February. They make their first loyalty order in March, and then they make it again in April. That would be considered points, right? Because that's
Yeah.
two. Okay, but what about if they don't do March, but then they go back on and do April and May?
Oh, that's a good question. So like they don't do it after the second, like right away at the second month. Katie, do you remember? Do they count for that? You think
Like
so?
basically if they have like a break in there.
I know. I think it does. Let me double check on it. Maybe he'll cover that. But like,
Okay.
I think it does because I want to say I had points from people that didn't order necessarily every month, but they had like. But let me double check on that.
Okay, cool.
Okay, Alicia said they get 1 point if it's not on loyalty, but it's just delayed until the next month. So then you get the 2 points.
So what if we have someone who's been ordering for the last since 2024? They ordered every month in 2025. Are we still earning 2 points?
No, no, it's just for new people, just for new customers in 2026.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that our old people from 2025 were no longer earning those points then this year?
No, no. Well, I mean, you still get the commission, but
Yeah.
yeah. So the whole idea of Elite is growth. That's why everything on this, like I said, everyone's literally starting at ground zero. So everyone is like all starting over because they want you to like they want the, and they have, the retention points and you get paid still. But yeah, it's more focused on the new. So it's a good push because otherwise you just it's real like as we found last year, it's really easy to just like sort of rely on the old customers. Okay. Any other questions before we keep going?
a lot of things there, I know, but again, trying to do this as quickly as possible, but with as much completeness as we can. Now, we know that again, growth is about acquiring new, retaining that new, but then also this duplication or this taking this and helping to teach other people how to do that really is how we scale that growth. All right. And so we have our points available from basically personal rank and team rank advancements and growth. All right. So there's three categories in this one this year. This three ways, excuse me, to earn points in this category. These are the same as last year with some key updates, okay, which I'll show you just what I'll talk about right now. And really the key update is around the idea of that senior ambassador rank I talked at the very beginning about. Okay, we're actually in this year creating point opportunities to acknowledge people who themselves reach senior ambassador and that the uplines who are actually developing senior ambassadors with points. All right. So personal rank advancements, my own self, as I rank advance, I earn points. And again, this year it starts as senior ambassador, and I'll show you that in just
I want to pause there just in case anyone missed that update that there is a new rank between ambassador and director called senior ambassador. And so that is when you have 500 PTV. So that counts as, which I am really glad they're doing that. But that counts as, a rank advancement like he's talking about here.
a second on the next.
Oh my gosh, why does it keep doing that?
Hey there, Shaklee family. Not $500. We're really this duplication or this take. We're actually in this year creating point opportunities to acknowledge people who themselves reach senior ambassador and that the uplines who are actually developing senior ambassadors with points. All right. So personal rank advancements, my own self, as I rank advance, I earn points. And again, this year it starts as senior ambassador, and I'll show you that in just a second on the next slide on a chart. The next one is through new ambassador, personal new ambassador sales. So if I'm a new ambassador, these are just for me. If I'm new, okay, I can get 20 points towards my own, VIP Elite qualification if I reach that $500 in sales within my own first 90 days. Okay. If I do that, I get 20 points. So my ambassador, my sponsor gets 20 points when I do that. And I get 20 points when I do that. So those things line up. All right. And it helps them really get a good chunk of their points for their VIP Elite qualification in there. And then we have, obviously, as your first generation business leaders, as they rank advance, there are point opportunities available. Again, these are all the same as this year that we have. It's just now we've kind of updated a few of the points here, which I'll show you on this slide right here. Okay. The biggest one here is is the senior ambassador inclusion. Okay. So in 2026, personal rank advance. So this is my own rank advancements. As I rank advance, we've created again this senior ambassador. So someone's coming in, setting a goal, they hit senior ambassador, boom, they lock in 15 points towards their VIP Elite qualification. Okay. Director then is 25, senior director 50, and then it goes all the way up to presidential master coordinator. There has been some finessing of these points to kind of better align them. But for the most part, they're the same or very, very similar to what they are in 2025. So again, this is personal rank advancement points. Now let's look at what happens when I'm developing my first generation business leaders and helping those people rank advance. Again, the biggest one to me here is that we have this senior ambassador now inclusion in that. So you can earn those points as you're helping those people make stepping stones to business leader, to getting to director, right? I get 15 points every time I have a first generation person reach senior ambassador. Okay. Then at director, it's 25 points. Okay. And again, we've adjusted some of these points a little bit to streamline them. And then that goes all the way up to senior coordinator. Okay. Now, beyond senior coordinator, we don't award points when people rank advance. At that point, once they're hitting master and things like that, they're fairly independent and on their own doing the things that they're doing. And so in this category, we don't award points for that. So that's the update. Again, the big change here, this one I think the most impactful is just the inclusion of that senior ambassador rank as a way to earn points. Now, finally,
I want to pause and make sure Katie's comment is highlighted here. So she said, for all of these ranks outside of like director, you have to hold them for 4 months in order for them to in order for you to get the bonus and like officially, well, even director, you have to hold for, if you were the first time director, you have to hold for 4 months. It's just in the compensation plan, like some of those lower ranks, you will owe, okay, I'm going to overcomplicate this. For some of the higher ranks, you have to hold, like they'll say master coordinator and qualification before they call you that. For some of the lower ranks, it is the first month, but for the elite program, you have to still hold for 4 months in order to get the bonus and qualify for the elite program.
And I'm
We
assuming
have
the fourth month is the one where you get the points. Or would it be the fifth?
Yep. The
So the
after
fifth
the,
month.
yep. And
Okay,
that's also when you would get your bonus too for
got
that.
it.
Hmm.
or activity points. So our first three categories, sponsoring, retention, and then kind of team development, personal rank advancement, that's around this real simple growth formula, right? Of acquiring new, retaining that retention, and then multiplying that by duplication. That's really how we drive growth. But there are other things that are important to engage in as an ambassador, and we capture those in our activity points. For example, these are the exact same in 2025 as they are in 2026. They carried over. Registering and attending conference, 15 points. Having a loyalty order each month when it's delivered to you on loyalty, that's 1 point per month that you get. If you earn all four of those quarterly incentives, that's 50 points that you get there. And I'll show you in just a second here how that can really help. And then we have the same points for taking those meology assessments, where you earn points for every 30 new meology assessments. And we are making some updates to that tracker, which will make that easier for you to see how those points are accruing for you in 2026 as well. All right. So this right here shows you kind of the snapshot of all the points. All right. And I want to take just a second here I know that's a lot. Okay. But if we just think about what that look means, it's like, okay, I'm coming in and you already, again, even if you're just getting started as an ambassador with us, and this is new, it feels a little overwhelming. Let's break it down. Every month I set a minimum goal of reaching $500 in sales and helping at least 3 new people. That's kind of like my bedrock, non-negotiable, what I'm doing each month. That qualifies me for Star Club. I reach that recognition every single month. I get the bonus that's associated with it. That's kind of the minimum. And that is generating VIP Elite points when I do that. Part of my growth strategy then is to acquire and help bring in and sponsor new ambassadors throughout the year, because that's how I scale my business, where it's not just my efforts that are coming. So as I do that, right, I'm a new ambassador. As I help that, I sponsor a new ambassador and they get their first sale, they get going, I earn points. As that new ambassador sets a goal, like, hey, your first goal is to get to 500 points. As they do that, I get points. And as I help all the people that I'm bringing on, okay, in 2026 new, whether they're ambassador or customers, get on loyalty, okay, purchase in their second month, retain them, keep them engaging and using Shaklee's products to help them live age free, okay, I'm earning points each month they make those month 2 orders, right? And then so you have already thought about these things. You're just now connecting some points to those as well, right? And then as a byproduct that, I'm starting to rank advance. As I rank advance myself, I earn points. As I help people on my team be able to reach new ranks, I'm earning points. Okay, as I help them do that. Okay, my first generation people. So it's the concept is not foreign. Okay, it's kind of what you've thought about in one way or another. Now it's just kind of like attaching points and being a little more strategic about doing that. And I'll talk about that in just a second for you. Okay, so that's how I want you to think about points. We went through this. We looked at the point opportunities. We talked about what VIP Elite is, why we have it. We looked at the qualification requirements, the rank requirements, and then the point totals you need to accumulate throughout the year. And now I just went through all the points and how we earn those points that you accumulate throughout the year. Okay. All right. So there's one more thing that I want to share, and this is really for people who are at senior exec or above, at least 4 times in 2025. We do have what we call leadership track that's open to you. So when you are a senior exec or higher, 2025, or excuse me, senior exec or above, at least four times in 2025, and you have at least one Star Club bonus, this kind of unlocks for you, and you'll see it in your tracker. And really, the leadership track, what that does is it just gives you an opportunity to earn VIP Elite points every time you have a first generation ambassador qualify as a bronze, silver, gold, or platinum. And it also gives you a higher boosted max for each one of these categories. Okay, so that's really what the leadership track is. If you're a senior exec or above 4 times this year, just know, hey, I'm going to earn points as I help my first generation leaders qualify for VIP Elite, and I have a little bit higher maxes on my sponsoring and retention points in 2026, and that'll show up in your tracker. All right, so what I want to do right now is just kind of wrap up this section by just kind of giving you a couple examples. And my goal in this is just to help you kind of bring it all home, right? Synthesize it down to an idea. First of all, let's talk about let's do an example of just I'm sitting here, I'm looking to plan for this year, right? It's a great time of year to plan and set goals. I want to make sure I end the year as a VIP Elite Bronze and get an invite to that trip. What should my game plan look like? Okay. So I know I need to earn at least 250 points. You could sit down right now and plan out what you need to do, how to get those 250 points. Okay. For example, let's just say here's an example plan that I put together. I'm going to make sure that I get as many points as possible from that Star Club bonus category. I know there's at least 120 points available at bronze. Okay. So I want to get all 120, which means that during the year, I need to earn 12 Star Club bonuses, which means if I just earn one Star Club bonus a month, I've maxed out that category at 120 points. That's my plan. Then I want to make sure that I earn all four of those quarterly incentives. So I want to make sure that I'm earning at least those 60, getting at least those 60 VIP Elite points from sponsoring and retention, at least 20 from each one of those categories. I want to earn all four quarterly incentives. That's my plan, is to make sure that I earn those. That's going to give me 50 points. Then I want to help during the course of the year. I want to have helped at least 3 new ambassadors and have those get started. So I want to enroll them and help them make their first sale. That will give me 18 points. I want at least one of those ambassadors to get to their $500 in sales within their first 90 days. That'll give me 20 points. Can you see how these are starting to accrue? Okay. Then I want to say, look, I'm going to have at least 12 orders placed by people that I signed up this year that is in their second month or beyond. So I'll have some retention here that I'm looking at, right? From customers or members that have customers, members, ambassadors who are placing an order in their second month and beyond. I'm going to have at least 12 of those, and I want to have those delivered on auto ship. I might get a couple others that aren't delivered on loyalty on auto ship, but I'm going to have at least 12. That gives me 24 points. That's my goal. I'm going to have my own loyalty order that I place every month. That'll give me 12 points. I'm going to register and attend our 70th anniversary conference. Okay, we don't want to miss that. So that's 15 points. That gives me 259 VIP Elite points. Okay, for the year. And I just sat down and I thought, okay, here's the things that I want to do. Here's goals I'm going to set for myself. And now you have a plan of attack that if you execute on this plan throughout the year, you're going to end the year with enough points. Now, obviously, you have to earn the points, but then you also have to have the rank. So at bronze, I need to be a coordinator. Okay, so I need to be a coordinator 4 consecutive months in 2025 and then maintain director at least through the trip. All right. So again, for bronze for this year, one last time, we are allowing first-time directors to qualify for this with the same hold requirements that are there. But again, just as a call out, will be the last year that we're doing that. But that still is an option in this year as we're making the transition to an all coordinator trip in 2027. Okay. So that's a quick game plan example of how to get bronze. Now let's do the same thing with silver. Okay. All right, so I really want to qualify as VIP Elite Silver. I want all the perks. I want to be able to take my significant other on this incentive trip. So I want to be silver by the end of the year. That means I need 350 points. Well, how am I going to do this? Well, I'm going to sit down right now. I'm going to print out that sheet that showed all the points, and I'm going to start to strategize. Okay. I'm going to say, look, same approach. I'm going to max out that Star Club bonus category. I'm going to make sure that I'm earning at least 12 Star Club bonuses, one bonus a month, if you will, right? Star Club bonus each and every month. That gives me 120 points. That's a big chunk of points right there. I'm also going to set a goal to earn all 4 of those quarterly incentives. Okay. Another 50 points. I'm going to help enroll 6 new ambassadors during the course of the year who make their first sale. Okay. That's getting me 36 points. These might be members that I upgrade to ambassador, people that I enroll directly as ambassador, but I'm going to find 6 new business partners this year to add to my business. And I'm going to help make sure they get started by making a sale. Okay. Then I'm going to help half of them, 3 of them, get to that $500 in total sales within their first 90 days. Boom. That's 60 points right there. Okay. Then I'm going to have at least 15 month 2 orders from either my customers, my members, or my ambassadors who just signed up this year. 15 of those orders delivered on loyalty, okay, on auto ship to people during the year. That'll be 30. And again, maybe you're like, how do I track that? Well, the tracker tracks it for you, but set the goal here. How many people? That means I'm going to have to really help people kind of focus on loyalty, the benefits of loyalty, of getting on that auto ship. So, but that's my goal, is to get 30 points from that category. I'm then going to create, I just sponsored 6 new ambassadors. I'm about 3 of them get to that $500 in sales. And one of them, I'm going to help achieve senior ambassador for the first time. Maybe 2 or 3, but let's just say in my plan here, I just say 1. That's 15 points. Okay. Then I'm going to help someone reach director for the first time. So one of those 6 new people, I'm going to create a new first generation director. That's 25 points for me. I'm going to have my own loyalty order, which is 12 points. I'm going to register and attend summit. That's 15 points. And at the end of all of that, I'm ending up with 363 points, okay, for VIP Elite. So you can, again, plan all this out. So you kind of have a game plan for the year using the VIP Elite program to get there. All right. And then obviously, I need to have not just the points, I need to have the rank. So I set myself as a silver. I need to at least be a coordinator or higher 4 months in 2025, and then maintain at least director through the trip. And again, for all of the VIP Elite ranks, all the rules, like I think there, I mean, there's one that I haven't called out here necessarily on these slides, but where you need to have at least 2 ambassadors sponsored throughout the year to earn these tiers as well. All right, so let's talk about the VIP Elite trip. Again, you're probably thinking, oh, is he going to announce where it is? It's not. I'm recording this before our January broadcast. And so we are going to reveal on the broadcast where it is, the venue that it is for 2026 qualifiers. But I can't share you with the date. Okay, April 12th to the 16th in 2027. So you can pencil that in. Now, to get there, there really are 4 ways that you can earn the trip, right? I just went through the most common way, which is qualifying as a VIP Elite gold or bronze, silver, gold, or platinum. Okay, that's the most common. But we also have what we call a grow to go option. And really, this is for your sellers. This is for people who aren't really sponsoring other ambassadors or looking to team build. And what they do is they take the total number of sales to new customers, okay, customers who enrolled in 2026. They add all of those sales, the purchases that those people make in 2026 together. And at $35,000 in total sales for the year from new customers, you get a trip for one. $60,000 is a trip for two, okay, in 2026. So that's a great option for your sellers, especially to set that mark. For first-time executive coordinators, again, just so you know that if you become an executive coordinator for the first time in 2026 and you hold that rank for at least 3 months, 4 months total, you're going to get at least an invite for one. In 2025, anyone who did that also qualified through the VIP Elite program, and typically had better benefits. And just so you know, you can't qualify for multiple ways. If you qualify in both, then or in multiple ways, we just pick the one with the best benefits, and that's the one we honor for you to go to this incentive trip. But this is here, just so you can even simply tell people, hey, look, you want a guaranteed way to go to the trip? Get the executive coordinator, and you're going. Okay. And then we have our ongoing leadership invitation, which is for people who are paid as keys or above at least 4 months in 2025, and then 6 months in 2026, and then have at least 3 bronze elite qualifiers or higher between them and the next key in their downline. They also will be eligible for the trip as well. There's some other fine print about they can't fall below that rank and other things like that. So if that you're in that category and you're shooting for that one, make sure you look at all of that fine print. Okay. Rank up bonus. All right, rank up bonus, big deal. We are continuing rank up bonus in 2026. That is good news, but we do need to adjust how many bonuses can be paid out at one time in 2026. Okay, so starting on after January 2026, and
Okay, that kind of covers the elite program, and then that's just kind of the end of the bonuses. So definitely go back and watch that. But does all of that make sense? Again, I know it's a lot of information. I think that I really liked like his suggestion of going through because everyone's kind of at different points as far as like what you need and what like which one you want to go for. So I think the best thing is to like wrap your head around what do I need to do to get there, like the whole like what do I need to do the whole year, and then kind of reverse engineer that by month. So like I said in the chat, like the easiest way to get all of your Star Club points is just to make sure that you're getting at least one Star Club a month. Like and don't wait, on that where it's like all of a sudden July and you need to get all of your Star Club points. So if you, like I said, if you can kind of reverse engineer it now, it definitely it feels much more doable. The main thing for our team is going to be recruiting because we know how to sell. I know that you guys can find new customers and things. The main thing for all of us will just be finding those new workers and knowing too that like just because you sign an ambassador up doesn't mean they're going to hit director, right? Like you can't just sign up 2 people this year and think, oh, those are going to be my 2 directors because that hardly ever happens. But I do think it's going to help us to have the rank of senior or of senior ambassador because really, if you can do like if you can have three ambassadors, like if you can break that down for people where they don't feel like they have to sell 3,000 to hit director, where they can like enroll a few ambassadors and each of them can hit 500, that's going to make the whole thing feel so much more manageable than like a lot of you guys got to director by just selling, which is awesome, but also harder. It's harder than if you have motivated people, it's much easier to hit director every month if it's not just you hitting it. Yeah, and it's much harder to maintain too if it's just your own personal sales. So, does anyone have questions or things you want to like talk through about any of that? Katie, anything else too that you'd add having hit it this last year that do you remember like, and I don't know if you probably have that in front of you. Maybe we could ask you to pull it up at some point, but just like your breakdown of how you got there, because I think it might be helpful for people to see like you don't have a massive team, but like you're just doing a little bit each month.
I put it up above there where I think it should be everybody's goal to max out the category of the loyalty, like the retention points or having people, because I know that's one where those can add up really quickly if you are adding new customers and they are reordering or you're keeping them happy that you're good service. But and then that's also where because I maxed out in star clubs and in that category, so that built points up a lot too. But as far as team wise, yeah, I mean you can have just a few rock stars too to be able to help with that. Cause I mean, like Danielle's been director, Tessa's been director, Courtney's been director. So when you have when you work closely with a team and can really have a good unit, I think then yes, you might recruit lower, but you can possibly have better success with that smaller group too.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. Good points. Any other questions?
But I'm right where with you were too, where it was a fresh start to the year. I was like, oh shit. Like
Yeah.
just like even just like the loyalty, the new customer thing, I was like, all right, we are really starting at ground zero scratch, where it's like I know a lot of us had body people were still coming over and trying new things, especially in the early part of last year where that was a lot of great momentum. And so, yes, the playing field is very level now, which is scary, but also like, all right, take matters into your own hands and figure it out.
Yeah, it's definitely like yeah, like we're all on the same page and it's really take I think the to hit elite this year it's gonna be more mindset work than anything of just like don't tell yourself you can't, like tell yourself that you would just have to figure it out and find people and all that because like whatever we tell ourselves will become our reality. So I think in terms of, yeah, obviously when you have an established business, your rate of finding new customers and new ambassadors is not as fast as at the very beginning. But if you can figure it out, that's where people go on to build long-term businesses, that don't fizzle out in a few months because they actually like, take the time to constantly find those new people. And I do think too, like just from a business like recruiting standpoint, I feel like the conversations I'm starting to have, like people are starting to be more open to the idea again, of starting a business. I think that like when people saw all of those companies kind of crumble, they were sort of like, well, I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. But now that they've seen us start to win again and that we're still here and we're like doing good, like they're starting to go, oh, maybe I should think about that again. Maybe I should try to earn some extra money for my family. So I do think that the trust is starting to come back the longer we're here, especially for those really skeptical people. And oftentimes the skeptical people are the ones that like end up doing really well because they take the time to really think through if they want to do it or not. The other thing I wanted to share that Robbie shared with me is he said he's like, if you want to have um the business kit waived like at all this year, he's like, just let me know. I'm happy to do that for you if they have an enrollment order of 150 or more. So just something to keep in mind because sometimes that can be an obstacle for people if they're like, yeah, I want to do it, but I don't really want to pay the $50. That can be a good way to Yeah, just like so in that case, the easiest way to do it is like they have to pay it and then they would get reimbursed like straight up onto their credit card just as a reimbursement. So they would pay and then just reach out to me and like send me their info as far as like, what their ambassador number is and what they like their order number. If you could just forward that to me, then I can make sure that he takes care of that for us. So I thought that was just nice because, yeah, like I said, and sometimes you don't really want the people that just want to sign up without a fee because you want them to have some skin in the game, but you can always tell like who's serious and whatnot. So, okay, was this helpful? Does it feel like you kind of understand it more so now? Does it feel manageable or is it like, oh gosh, I don't know if I can do this?
One thing that I do want to add, just where people were talking about like the mindset thing, I remember last year, even at this time, or even telling Amber like that I didn't care about Elite, like it wasn't a big deal about for me, like wasn't worried about that. But in reality, and I bet some of us are having that like whatever, this isn't going to happen for me, but I kind of dove into it, looked at a different perspective, like if I am doing these things, my business is growing, and that was ultimately what I wanted to happen, was my income to grow. So I think you need to look at it for that perspective, like if you are doing these things, your income's going to grow with it, and cool, you're getting points on the side and earning these perks. So that's kind of where I flipped the switch to of I the title necessarily of elite don't matter, but growing my paycheck does. So doing these things and checking these boxes is what's going to get you there.
hmm Yeah, that's so, so true. I love that. Liz, feels overwhelming. That's normal the first time you like really dive into this. I know my brain was spinning too. But you're a numbers person, so I have no doubt you can figure this out. Once you wrap it all around, you're one that I know can figure it out. It's just more finding the new people. Yeah, more people. Yeah, for sure. But you can do it. Other questions, thoughts? The trip itself is really cool. I mean, it's not a work trip. It is a hangout trip. It is like they have like a 2 hour meeting to announce last year they announced like fun things like the vitamin C serums launching and things like that. And Roger speaks, but yeah, it's not like a work. It's very much like a fun trip. Um right. Yeah. No, outside of like the only way that it would like impact it would be like your volume as far as like a rank advancement, So like your like to hit coordinator, you have to be a certain volume. So all of your existing customers would all count towards that volume for your rank, just not like the individual numbers.
What about they all canceled everything?
I mean, you could get creative with that.
Totally kidding.
But think about this too. The people that would upgrade, so let's say you look at your customers, if they upgraded to ambassador and you got them working, then they would count for you. You wouldn't have you wouldn't, yeah, everyone has a new email address. Like you wouldn't have the commission, obviously, but if there's someone like, that wants to work, then yeah, that would be totally worth it to get them upgraded. I know we all can do it. It's totally it's totally just like how we're going to think about it and tackle it together. And getting on it early is the thing. Like you have to have a sense of urgency because otherwise it just becomes very overwhelming like halfway through the year. Oh, I think it's the Q1 prize. Isn't it that scale that like what's it called again? Hume, yes, the Hume scale where it's like your body compositions scale. So, and then I do think that another thing that's going to help our team this year is when we can go public about the fitness. Because like right now, there's like we can't like really say like, oh, Shaklee has fitness, like we can't straight up say that. It has to be sort of like behind the scenes. But I do think even like seeing a couple people that were with our other team now, like they're like, oh, fitness, what's this? Like it's almost like their wheels are spinning again as far as like, oh, I could figure out how to do this. So I think that that will help us from a recruiting standpoint to be more attractive to those types of people. Oh, Alicia, I didn't even know that. She said the 70th anniversary report has all those that haven't hit senior ambassador yet. So she's gonna go through and see. So that's a really good idea. Like go through all of your ambassadors, the ones that haven't hit 500 PTV, and then get them on your like hot list to get those points going. They also, so I don't know, I'm gonna stop recording to share this because I don't know if